Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ginnifer Hency.
I'm gonna go.
My name is Ginnifer Hency. I'm from Smiths Creek, Michigan, which is a small town outside of Marysville, Port Huron area in St. Clair County. And I'm going to kind of tell you a story. You guys write laws about civil asset forfeiture, but I've lived it for the past 10 months. I was diagnosed with MS 5 years ago, and it was suggested by my neurologist because I also have a heart condition that I can't take quote-unquote run-of-the-mill pain medicine because I have had a heart condition since I was 21 years old. So it was suggested by my neurologist to take advantage of the Michigan medical marijuana laws. I also became a caretaker for 5 patients with various illnesses such as lupus, MS, and then cancer. My husband is also a caretaker. He's a social worker in the Port Huron area. And we were raided. I had 6 ounces in my backpack, a locked backpack, compliant with the Michigan medical marijuana laws. They, in turn, raided my house with 4 children present. I have 4 teenagers. Bless me, right there. I was raided. They took everything, even though I was fully compliant with the Michigan medical marijuana laws. They charged me with possession with intent to deliver, even though I'm allowed to possess and deliver. Last Tuesday, I was here listening to a lot of you talk about due process in the United States of America. I believe you, Representative Kesto, were the one talking about that. And I'm here to tell you that hasn't happened with me. I was a little disappointed last week when I walked out of here and I wasn't allowed to tell my story. But then I was raised by a preacher and he told me, you know, everything happens for a reason. And Tuesday night I realized what that reason was because I found out that I was not bound over by the judge in my case. And that is the reason why forfeiture laws need to change in this state. They have had my stuff for 10 months. My ladders, my iPads, my children's iPads, my children's phones, my medicine for my patients. Why a ladder? Why my vibrator? I don't know either. Why TVs? When they left the stuff that forfeiture laws were made for in this state and in this country, they left my ballasts, my lights, the stuff that I used to grow drugs. They left that, which that is what forfeiture laws are made for, is to stop growing drugs. They left that stuff, but they took the stuff that doesn't grow drugs, supposedly. So I did not get bound over by the judge in St. Clair County, yet they still have my stuff because, against my attorney's advice on Friday, thinking, okay, I didn't commit a crime. They actually said no crime occurred. I went to the prosecutor's office in St. Clair County on Friday morning and said, okay, Judge Nicholson did not bind me over. How do I go about getting my stuff back? The prosecutor came out to me and said, well, I can still beat you in civil court. I can still take your stuff. Now, I was at a loss. I literally just sat there dumbfounded. I was just assuming like we would set up a time and I would be able to get my stuff back. My husband he was just mad, just walked out, and I was just sitting there like, I'm just thinking I'm going to be able to get my stuff back. But not in this country. And that is why civil asset forfeiture in this state needs to change.
Thank you for your testimony.